I think it's important to study a different language because with us constantly doing other stuff like English and all that, it lets us get a better understanding of our modern day language, and it works different parts of our brains, letting us become better.
It gives you an appreciation for other people's culture a little bit as you learn it. Also, I think you learn a lot more about your own language.
I think it's important because it unites people who originally wouldn't talk to each other because of the language barrier. But if we're able to learn different languages, then we can break that barrier.
I guess it depends on the language.
Okay. Which language do you recommend learning?
Spanish, because you use it in more places.
There's a lot of people in the world, and you need to be able to communicate with a lot of them.
It broadens your view of the world. It connects you with global interests that are beyond what we normally traffic in.
The way people speak, even in dialects, there's so much about their culture that's in there, about the way they think, about the attitudes they have toward each other. The way you use words says a lot about you, but also just the main cultural piece.
Language acquisition it opens up a huge picture of the world. So that's one thing that I think is really important.
You learn more about somebody else's culture and you can think outside of yourself. I think in America we just think about our culture, but learning another language we can go and learn a big part of somebody's culture and step outside of ourselves.
Learning another language is probably most critical in refining our ability to know our own language, not only in terms of grammar structures, but also just in terms of understanding how language expresses certain elements of a culture and a society.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, because a lot of colleges require it.
Yes, I do think it should be. I think that there should be a variety of languages offered.
Yes. This is a trick question.
If someone wants to study abroad, then they can have that opportunity, and it'll be a lot easier for them because of the language barrier that they would break, the language that they would be learning.
Learning something, especially a cultural backdrop that's so different from our own, teaches us way more about our own selves than probably the world around us. So I think it's really important to take a third-year language. Resist that study hall.
Hanging out in the Spanish class and hanging out with the exchange students was good for me.
When I learned German, it meant that I could travel to Germany and I could find better hotels than anybody else. And I found where the Germans themselves went to vacation, and I could listen to German news, and I knew the Berlin Wall was coming down before anybody else in America.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, going to Spain, living with someone that speaks Spanish. I don't really speak Spanish. It is a large part of how you communicate and how you interact with people, but it still is not everything.
I started taking Spanish freshman year, obviously, because, and sophomore year I went to Spain, and it really helped my Spanish, and it made me want to pursue that. And then this year with going to the Dominican Republic, it made me actually think about doing mission work there, and continuing Spanish through maybe even college. And it just really got me excited about studying abroad or becoming a missionary.
Hay una broma en la comunidad global de que si una persona habla 2 idiomas, él es bilingüe. Si habla 3 idiomas, él es trilingüe. Y si habla solamente uno, él es de los Estados Unidos. Este es un estereotipo desalentador. Nosotros tenemos uno de los mejores sistemas de educación en todo el mundo, pero no tenemos el respeto con los demás. Si nosotros quisiera ganar empatía, respeto y oportunidades en el resto del mundo, tenemos que trabajar para mejorar nosotros mismos y, en consecuencia, la reputación de nuestra generación y nuestro país.
Cuando viví en Rusia, fui a una escuela internacional. Muchos estudiantes en mi clase hablan 2 o 3 idiomas y fue increíble a ver el nivel que estas personas pueden aprender y entender muchas personas y culturas. Creo que es muy importante aprender un otro idioma porque revela mucho sobre una sociedad nueva y sobre tu sociedad. La habilidad de hablar en la misma lengua conecta a personas de lugares diferentes. Espero que pueda continuar a aprender español y usarlo durante toda mi vida.
Es nuestro Señor.